Welcome back to Clastify tutorials, everyone. It's Gabriel again, and today's topic is one of the most important there is: how to get the 7 in your economics IA. In this video, you'll learn exactly what to do to nail each criterion. We'll also back it up with some examples from our IAs. Make sure to visit Clastify for more marked examples, and remember to subscribe to the channel. So, ready to learn how to score a 7 for your coursework? Let's jump right into it. This won't be a mystery. To get a 7 for any coursework during your IB, you need to strictly follow the criteria for each subject. Sounds easy? With our help it is, but there are some tricks during the process which will help you speed up the whole thing. In economics there are 6 criteria from A to F which you need to follow, so let's break down each one of them in detail. First up we have Criterion A, diagrams. The secret to getting a maximum score here lies in precision and relevance. You need to include at least 2 diagrams per commentary. It's not just about drawing any diagram, it needs to be significant and relevant to the chosen concept and topic. Remember to label your axes, curves, and equilibrium points precisely. Also, every diagram needs to be presented alongside an explanation. The diagram itself does not mean a lot. Let's take a look at our example. The student here has included relevant diagrams. One to show the effects of cost-push inflation due to supply shortages caused by the pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war, and a second diagram to show the effects of government implementing an increase in interest rates. Each label is clear and each curve movement is explained, showcasing the direct impact on consumer prices. This is exactly what you need to do to nail this criterion. Moving on to another criterion, terminology. You need to incorporate economics-related terminology throughout your whole IA. Remember not to just use it, you should explain it properly. It's not about using any terminology. The terminology you use needs to be relevant to the topic you choose and needs to be used properly, so everyone reading it will be 100% sure that you actually understand it. Take a look at the provided example. As you can see, our exemplary IA uses terms like inflation and aggregate demand with ease, defining each term in context. And that's exactly it, a demonstration of deep understanding, making complex concepts accessible to anyone. Next, we move to Criterion C, application and analysis. Here the challenge is to link theory with reality. Discuss the economic theories relevant to your article, then analyze the real-world implications. Consider the effects on different economics agents, consumers, producers, and governments. And you can see that the student here applies the concept of cost-push inflation to explain rising food and gas prices. And this is it. Inflation like the economic term and real-world implication like raising food prices. Later, the student explores the repercussions on household spending and saving habits, providing an analysis that brings textbook theory to life. The key concept is where you anchor your commentary. Select one of the 9 key concepts and integrate it throughout your analysis. Remember that this isn't just a brief mention, it's about making this particular concept like the lens through which you review your article. It's easier to explain with an example. In the example IA, economic well-being, a chosen key concept, isn't merely mentioned. It's an essential part of the analysis. The student evaluates how inflation affects well-being, using it to measure the economic impact, making the concept both a starting point and a conclusion. So simply to get a max score there, you need to identify the key concept relevant to the article, explain the link between the article and the key concept, and show a clear understanding of the link between the article, a key concept, and economic theory taken from the identify unit of the syllabus. Evaluation is your arena for critical thinking. Present arguments and counter-arguments, assess alternative outcomes, and don't be afraid to make judgments. This is where your voice and your reasoned opinions come to the forefront. Yet remember that such judgment should be backed up by economics knowledge. It isn't about what you think is correct, you need to be sure and have supporting evidence. Just take a look. Our student discusses the Federal Reserve's response to inflation, considering its effectiveness and potential downsides. They weigh the benefits of restricting inflation against the risks of higher unemployment, providing a balanced and insightful evaluation. This is what you should write there. Lastly, rubric requirements. This is about ticking all the boxes. You need to ensure variety in your article's sources, subjects, and publication dates. It's the organizational skill that frames the analytical part of your IA. Remember what we spoke about before. It's academic coursework and you need to stick to the rules. That's how you get the maximum score. So what exactly to do here? Here's the checklist. Each article is based on a different unit of the syllabus: microeconomics, macroeconomics, or global economy. Each article is taken from a different and appropriate source. Each article was published no earlier than 1 year before the writing of the commentary. There's 1 point to score for each of the rubric requirements. And that's a wrap on securing a 7 in your economics IA. Remember, each criterion is a step you need to follow to get the top score. Use our examples from Clastify.com as an inspiration, as this will definitely help you out. I hope you liked the video, so like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time!